What is up, squad? It's the Guru back again, guys. 2 days in a row with YouTube content. How about that? But what brings me here today is this phenomenon that a lot of you guys see popping up. You might have seen Kevin Hart advertise it with Draftkings, this Reignmakers NFT fantasy football phenomenon, right? A lot of people are hearing about it, but not many know exactly what to think or what's going on with it. Well, that's the reason I'm here today. I'm going to do my best to at least give you some early information that can get you started opening some packs, get your own NFT collection started on the Draftkings marketplace, and kind of give you an idea of how to position your lineups and how to assemble teams through the different tiers and what exactly you need to look for to maybe assemble your own strategy. I'm going to show you guys some of the things that I'm doing for my personal strategy, which may not be the best decision when it comes to money making, to share my entire strategy that I invested over $10,000 in buying packs myself already on the initial drop. That's another thing we're going to get into is they're having different levels of drops. They had the Genesis drop, and now they just did the Elevate rookie drop, and a full Elevate set is going to drop later on this week. So there's a bunch of different levels on things to touch on, and I'm going to do my best to just give a high-level overview of everything that you basically need to know to get you started and get you rolling for week one of this Rainmakers contest. They're going to be rolling out new things every single week, so it's going to be forever evolving. Remember, this is literally the very beginning of a project that has a roadmap of 10, 20 years down the line. So there's going to be a lot of things that need to fix, a lot of trial and error, but Kalish has been in the chat almost every single day I've been in it. He's been in the Discord. He's been active. He's been there answering questions. Literally, one day they were in there. They heard all the complaints. The next day, literally the next day, they offered double the prize pool. They threw another $1,000,000 in the prize pool for the first week for all the people who bought the Genesis drop that were complaining. They're like, all right, guys, here, you want an advantage? We're going to give it to you. We listened. We heard your concern. So the guys up at the top have really shown that they care about this project and they're passionate about this project. So, my end, why am I making this video? Because when I see that, I believe in people that are like that. I believe in good people. So it might be, not financially responsible to give out my strategy. It might kind of hinder me when a lot of people now are going to watch this video and, use the same strategy. But like I said, I want to reward people that are working hard, trying to build something, being good people. They could have just collected the money and forgot about us, but they're trying to build something. They're trying to give us value for our hard-earned money that we spent. So I'm here trying to give you guys some information so now you can take that hard-earned money and hopefully make some more with it. Here we go. Let's get started. All right, so to start off, what exactly is Rainmakers, right? So high level overview, right? You buy a package right on the marketplace at DraftKings. You can start with a core package. They were at $9.99, where you guaranteed superstars and you can build a full roster, right? So there's two options. You have the showdown or you have the classic. A lot of you that have played daily fantasy before are familiar with these structures, right? So you build a team of either a quarterback, and then you have to fill a running back position. Then you have to fill a wide receiver position. And then you have a flex wide receiver slash tight end position. And then you have an all out flex position where it can be either defense, kicker, wide receiver, running back, not two quarterbacks. That's the classic. And then you have the showdown where you pick four players, you assemble a team, and that's going to be on your Thursday night usually, where there's only two teams, and then the Sunday night games, Monday night games, where there's only two teams playing at those times. So you pick a team captain that gets 1.5x the score, and then three other players, and that's how you fill that lineup. So now the different pack tiers come into play, right? So you have core packs, you have elite packs, you have legendary packs, you have rainmaker packs. You have all these different packs, and they're priced very differently. Core is the lowest tier, um, the least priciest, and then you're going to go all the way up to Rainmaker, which is obviously the most expensive. Now, the number of cards out, also, there's less Rainmakers, and that's why the Rainmakers are more valuable. And then there's a lot more core. There's tens of thousands of the core players, and then contest wise, you then have to open packs of cards and get players from each tier to meet certain criteria to enter certain level of contest, right? So what does that look like? What does that mean? Let's take an example right in the middle of the elite tier, right? So you buy an elite pack of cards where you're guaranteed 3 core guys, you're guaranteed a rare guy, and then you're guaranteed either an elite, a legendary, or a rainmaker, right? There's percent chances on each. I'll post the percentage later on. I'll show you guys the video. Um, but so you have these tiers. You draw and you have your players. Now, once you draw and you have your players, you then have to assemble your lineup with a minimum of 4 players to that tier, right? So let's say we're in elite. So we have to have 4 players, but then we can drop down and we can use one of our rare tier player cards that we have. You can only use every card you have in one contest each, so you got to choose wisely. Players can play down as many as you want. So let's say you have a bunch of elites and you use them in the lineups. It doesn't really make sense to ever do that, but cards can always play down. Only one card can play up. So you can do, if you're doing an elite team or fielding an elite team, you have to have 4 elite cards in the positions, and then you have to have one. You can use one rare card, or obviously you could use a rainmaker, or you could use a legendary tier. But again, that doesn't make sense, as they have Draftkings said the other day in a live with Garyvee. If you're going to try and use that strategy, you might as well sell your rainmaker or your legendary in the marketplace and then get more funds in your bank account, and then just buy a rare level card or elite level card instead if you're going to play it like that anyway. So that's touching on a little bit of strategy there. But so now you're assembling your lineups in your tier, right? And you kind of need to determine, you can kind of look in the marketplace and see, where each player is valued. Because at first, you need to determine, what level is right for you to invest in. So they structure the prizes, the biggest prize, and I think this makes a lot of sense. The first weeks, and it's going to be throughout the season, is in the elite tier. $100,000 for first prize on the Sunday Classic fantasy game. Well, not fantasy game, the Classic Rainmaker game. So $100,000 first prize pays out hundreds of spots, and there's no way to pay to get in. The only way you get in is by owning the NFTs, the Rainmaker NFTs, and having enough of them to qualify to assemble a lineup, right? So that's the first step. First step is you're assembling a lineup. You got to get enough players to at least be able to field any team, not accounting for any skill, not accounting for any scoring that team might do. You need to actually be able to field a team first, right? So once you're able to field a team, now you're opening more packs. You're trying to get these different tiers to field your teams, and now you want to get the elite players in the position. So naturally, people first are going to think, okay, now we can load up on superstar players. Let's get the Patrick Mahomes, and let's get Austin Ecklers and Christian McCaffreys, and we're just gonna pay all this money to start them all. Nope, you can't do that. You can only start one superstar player per team. So you have to choose wisely if you want to use that in your quarterback spot, your running back spot, your wide receiver spot, because then it's going to obscure how you make the rest of your lineup, or affect how you make the rest of your lineup, depending where you utilize your superstar. So each week, based on matchups, you're going to have to decide, all right, I want to use my superstar player in this lineup with these guys. And then it also affects you when we're talking about the playing cards up, playing cards down, when you're assembling your lineup, right? So now, once you have your lineup set, that's really when you start actually getting into the daily fantasy side of things, where you're trying to gain value and you're trying to field teams that you think are going to score the most points, because it goes by regular DraftKings daily fantasy scoring. And a lot of you, I'm sure, if you're watching this video, you have by this time a fair knowledge, decent knowledge of daily fantasy scoring, or you probably wouldn't have clicked on this video. So I'm not going to get too much into that. But so now you're really now trying to compete. Once you have the general understanding, once you have the teams built, now you're into the competition thing. You're sitting there, you're opening packs. So now they're going to have this elevate drop where they're now, like I said earlier, originally, there was a lot more, for lack of a better word, there was a lot more bums in the pack, right? The original Genesis drop. So it was a lot more valuable when you pulled, a higher level player, an elite player. I'll use, not mixing up with the tier, but when you pull a higher level player in a Genesis pack, obviously it's more valuable now because they made an adjustment in the Elevate pack where now they're gonna wipe away like the backups, the bums, and they're gonna add just more playable players that have a higher percentage chance of being in people's lineups every week and helping them win. So that was one of the adjustments they made after the initial drop because people were just getting discouraged. If you looked, it was actually wild last night again addressing the Garyvee opening up packs on YouTube. He actually opened up a legendary pack, which was like that. I think it was $1,800, something along those lines. And he got like bums, a bunch of bums, right? But he got the itch. Like he got the itch. He's like he was loving it, right? Same thing happened to me. Like once you start, it's a great feeling because it's like not only are you doing daily fantasy, but not, like people that love opening cards. Like now you're opening cards and you're getting collectible cards that you're reselling for a higher value if you pull high value cards, right? So Gary's like, oh man, this sucks. Like he basically got like legendary nobodies, right? And then so that happens. Like, dude, I gotta buy another pack, right? So he had like $425 in his account, and he goes right to the marketplace, and there's a guy that had a pack listed for $399, and one guy undercut him $398. So instead of buying a $398, Gary's like, I can't stand that guy. People that do stuff like that. Why not just make it the same? He pays $1 more, right? And it was like $390, something like that. He goes and he pulls a legendary Justin Herbert. I think it was out of 10 or out of 8, which there's only going to be 30 of them total minted, right? So Garyvee, right away, it's like a $4,000 to $6,000 card right off the rip from a $380 investment. It's literally one of the top 1% of pulls. After he spent, had the legendary pack for $1,800 and got Zippo, he ends up for $307 pulling like one of the best cards that you could pull, like live in front of everybody. It was like literally like the miracle for Draftkings, and it happened so organically. Like it was so funny watching the stream and seeing like how like discouraged they were. Because obviously, like you have Garyvee on, like he's doing a drop to hype up your new product. Like you want him to pull something great, and he just pulled absolute duds. And for some reason, he decides to go on his own and pick a random pack, and it happens to hit the miracle of content where they're able to use that content now for the whole Reignmaker season of Garyvee pulling his legendary Justin Herbert card out of 30 minted. There's only out of like I think 8 or 10 right now currently, like worth thousands of dollars, right? So it just like couldn't have been scripted any better, which is wild. But like that's also part of the excitement of this contest, right? So you have that factor of investing and then pulling expensive cards for the resale factor if you don't want to just play the game. There's people that are literally just opening packs, buying, trading, reselling, thinking that the Genesis cards worth are going to go up closer to the season when the contest starts, and more people hop on the train. Because again, keep in mind, guys, this is like going to be the first like 5-10% of people that are going to participate in Reignmakers right now that are figuring it out. Over the next couple of years, as this contest grows, it's going to be huge, and you're going to look back to this and be like, wow, like we were one of the original people in the Reignmakers. Now look how big it got. So that's the other cool aspect of things. But DraftKings is really, really engaged in this. This is the craziest part. Like literally, Kalis is the head of DraftKings, and he's in the chat every single day, sitting there listening to people's complaints, as I said earlier, and like really he's invested. Like you just see how excited he was. Like he wanted to be able to open a pack so bad last night, and can't legally because he's the head of DraftKings. He can't use his own product. But it's just crazy seeing the genuine excitement from these guys. So I don't know how you couldn't believe in a project that somebody is showing this much genuine excitement that has already had so much success in their life prior, right? So getting back to the structure of how the contest works, right? Those are some of the perks of it. We talked about how we build a lineup. And now, why don't we actually get in and see what some of this looks like? Because right now I'm kind of just saying a bunch of words, but like a lot of people are visual learners, right? So let's get into some visuals. All right, guys, here we go now. So this is actually what the site looks like. We're going to just open a pack right now on our own, right? So how do we go about opening a pack? So first thing we're going to do, we're signed in here. Hopefully you can't see my username and stuff, but you see I got money in my account. I'm going to go into the marketplace. I clicked the marketplace above. There's a link up here that says marketplace, but it was covering my username, so I didn't want you guys to see that. So we're going down here in the marketplace now. We're going to click on, I clicked on the wrong number. 1 second. All right, so we're going to click on browse right now. So first I can look at my portfolio, right? So these currently are all the cards that I own, right? You can filter them all different ways, but let's first show how we go about getting these cards, right? So usually it would be under drops, but because the current drops right now are just the rookie drops, I want to show you guys a relevant pack. So now we're actually going to go to the browse section, And these are going to be packs that people already purchased and now are relisting for a premium. I looked before I did this. So we're going to target Reignmakers Genesis Pack Elite. Because also part of the Genesis pack drop is there's a franchise score. So based on how many teams you build on this project and how many teams you field, you get franchise score. And now 5 times that franchise score are going to be for these elite player holders. So people that have the elite players on their teams, they're going to get an extra franchise score bonus by having the elite players versus using a Genesis player, or a Genesis player versus using any other packs player. They're going to get less of a percentage towards their franchise score as well. But anyway, here's an elite pack. We click on it. We have 410 in our bank account. We're going to click select and buy. And we're going to buy it now for 410 bucks. Confirm. Boom. Buy it now. All right. And now we're going to view it in our portfolio. So now there it is right there, right up top in our portfolio right here, guys. Boom. Let's do it. All right. We're going to open this bad boy right away. Here we go. $410 pack. Da-da-da-da. Whoosh. We're not going to skip it. Usually we're going to make this sound. I don't know if you can hear it on this end or not. Boom. And here we go. So I'm actually, you can do a quick reveal, but so if right up here is where the big cards are, the guaranteed cards, the rare and the elite. So these are going to be core 1, 2, 3 down here. So we're going to start with our core guys. Kylan Hill from Green Bay. Cortland Sutton. That's a good core player pull. All right, let's go to the top. Oh, it froze up here. Not sure exactly what's happening here. We had a little malfunction on our screen here. All right, so let's hit quick reveal now because we don't know what's going on. Oh, we got a Leonard Fournette rare card and a we got a DeAndre Swift Elite. What a pull. It's cut off on the screen, but DeAndre Swift Elite, 17 out of 30. That's a $1,000 card we just pulled, baby. We can't see it fully on the screen, but there you go. Right in Elite pack. There you go, 17 out of 30. DeAndre Swift. That's a great pull right there, baby. And then we got a Lenny Fournette rare to play as well. That's a great pack right there, right away. We spent $410 right away. We can go into the resale market. Let's check it out, right? Let's see if we go back to browse now. Let's see if we go to the auction. We go back to browse. Let's see. Ready? Let's see what he's selling for right now. So collectibles. All right, let's type in. Let's see if we can filter Reignmakers football selection. All right. Now let's see if we can go find what our Swift's selling for right now. You know what? I should be able to put it right in my filter bar. Let's see. Swift. See if we type in Swift, what happens. That might just be for the collections. See, we're learning as we go. There should be a way to type in Swift somewhere. For some reason, it's not working, but let's see if we can just scroll down to Swift. DeAndre Swift. So it starts with a D. So we're past them already. All right. It's because we're just in the rookies, I believe. Are we still in the rookies? Swift. James Cook, Isaiah Spiller. Oh, we were a little too far. All right. Well, for lack of time purposes, you guys can see on your own. You can browse it. For some reason, while I'm doing a screen recording, it's not really navigating very well. But there's an example of now how you build a team. So now I'm going to go into my portfolio and look at my actual teams, right? So here we go. Boom. Let's go into the portfolio. And let's see our team. Now, there's our DeAndre Swift Elite right there. Boom, ski, baby. Let's see. Here we go. We can look at it this way, what it's selling for. You click on it. And now let's see. Last sale price, $849 is the floor. We just paid $410, and we got other cards than that, but just the low card. Boom. Right there, we can resell it right now for $845. Probably if we put it up for $800, boom, somebody would scoop it up right away. We double our money already. Now, let's see if we go back to our Lenny Fournette. Let's see if that's still at the top, nice and easy for us. Our portfolio. Let's see. Has our newest, right? Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see what Lenny's selling for. Lenny Rare. Let's see what the Lenny Rare is going for. Probably not close to as much, but it's still decent. Look at that. $79. So right away, we just, made a very nice profit if we decided to just, resell our packs. But we decided we're going to go with Swift. We're going to keep it. We're not going to sell that Swift. That's a great asset to add to the lineup. Let me see now where he is. So not a superstar for Lenny. Let's see what Swift is. I don't know if they have Swift. If Swift's not a superstar, that's even a bigger pull for us, right? Because now we can use him so many more lineups. Let's see. Nope, not a superstar status. That's a great pull for us out of the Genesis pack. You see, it's number 17 out of 30. Let's go, baby. That's a hell of a pull for this live. Here we go. That's an example of how it's done. Now, what do we do with these cards, right? Well, we're going to click the Reignmakers tab. Again, you can't see that. And we're going to go there, and we're going to look at our contest for week 1. As you can see, legendary contest. That's the showdown we're talking about for the Thursday night games. Now, we scroll over to here. Scroll over a little more. Where's the elite guy that we're looking for? Where's the elite guy that we're looking for? One more little click. Boom, there it is. Elite. 100K cash, right? Let's see. So now I'm going to click on my contest because I'm already entered in this. And I'm going to give you an example of some of my lineups. But now that I just added 2 stud running backs, I might be able to switch on my lineups a little bit. So here's our lineups right here that we have in now for elite. So we got 1 legendary lineup in. I pulled a Chad Henne legendary. I pulled a Raheem Mostert. None of these guys are really starters, but at least I could field a team. Some part of the strategy is some people might not even be able to field a team for this, so we might be able to get some money just by having players score some points and fielding a full team. But now look at some of these elite lineups. We're going to be able to add Swift into some of these plays now. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Like, even this, like Chris Boswell, like adding him to this lineup now as a flex guy. I get to add a DeAndre Swift into that. Like, that's crazy, guys. So these are some of my elite lineups. Look at this. We got the Herbie. We have Montgomery. Oh, my goodness. We can sub in, Montgomery. We can sub in Swift here. We can sub in Swift there. Oh, man. Like, all these lineups now are with Swift added to it are gigantic, baby. Gigantic. I'm super excited. So here's some of the lineups that I've assembled. And now you can also, like, I have double Cam Akers, right? So now, let's say I want to try and go after, like, a better receiver for my lineups. Well, now I have 2 Cam Akers out of 30. I can sell one of them, and then I can go and use that money to purchase a similar price wide receiver, right? So we could definitely go with that theory as well. But I think this right here gives you guys a great example of somewhere to get started and exactly how everything works, how all the different contests work, and exactly what it looks like. Let's look at some of these payouts, right? So let's look at this 100K. Let's see the prize pool. 100K for first, 20K for second, third. You see it yourself, right? All the way down. How many people get paid? All the way down to the 988th person gets $90, right? So if you cash all 20 weeks, right? Or I think there's 24 weeks they're doing it for. That's over just under $2,000, even if you just min cash every week with your lineups, right? Tons of value, tons of value. Now, if you're in the middle, let's say you make $400 every week. Well, now you're really up on the season just with 1 lineup. Imagine if you field 4 or 5 lineups per contest and now you multiply that by that. So you can really see we can start to make money. And they're saying that the cards are also going to have utility in the future as well. So that's the great side of it. Again, I think this is giving you guys a great starting point. Let's see. All right, guys, it's take me a little bit to calm down from that monster pull. Wasn't expecting that. That was a lot of fun. So now I think you guys have a better idea of exactly what this Reignmakers NFT project is. And now you can hop into Discord and learn with the rest of us as we go, guys. Literally, we're learning, we're supporting as we go. But again, you can see there's definitely opportunity for financial gain and have a lot of fun while we're doing it as well, right? Because that's the key when it comes to things like this is to enjoy yourself, right? So I'm going to try and make some other videos and try and collab with Draftkings about the quality of the content. Obviously, I put this together just so people would have an idea of, where to start, like I said. But now, like I said, you guys have the general idea of how the contests are going to work, how to go about purchasing a pack, where the cards go, how you assemble a lineup. And like I said, kind of just a high-level overview of what this Reignmakers project is about. And I'll see you guys next video when I know more. Have some fun. Go buy some Reignmaker packs, and let's get this money together with the guru. Let's get it.